Welcome to the space where creatives have aligned a positive and intellectual collab of open minds. For sharing and learning from one another, it's a vibe. ReadswithRosa podcast on the mic. Subscribe, educator spitting bars. I guess you didn't know I'm multifaceted and humble, checking off life goals. The classroom is my comfort zone where I plant and sow seeds of knowledge, compassion, empathy, and hope. Reading is the key to unlocking your potential. Countless benefits, including cognitive and mental. Regardless of the genre, books are highly influential. Go get yours, I'll get mine. Making strides, monumental. Come rock with me and get down to this new jam. Reaching out to my friends, I had a very simple plan. Educate the masses through books and life lessons. It's the grand slam. I'm out. Talo falava, malo elele, and welcome to the Reads with Rosa podcast. I'm really excited to introduce today's guest. It's been a long time coming, and we're finally able to make this happen. He is a father, a wordsmith, an artist and creative, an entrepreneur, a mentor and role model in his community. And he is a proud Tongan, born and raised on the north shore of Tamaki, Makaurau, Aotearoa. It is such an honor to welcome to the show, Siose. Woohoo! What's up, bro?
Hey,
How are you?
what's up? I'm good, thank you. I'm good.
Man, it's good to see you. It's good to have you here on the platform. Finally, how are things in your part of the world?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, everything's well. I'm here in Auckland, New Zealand at the moment. I reside out in the east side at the moment, but weather's not too nice, but I'm doing well, man. I'm happy. I'm good. I'm doing good. Thank you.
Yeah, fam, whoever's watching, if you're watching the actual video, I mean, if you're listening, you're missing this. But if you're on YouTube watching this, I mean, we did not plan this whole color coordination. I mean, can you all see the Tongan flag in the background? Just saying. Okay. moving along. Okay, bro, I like to ask my guests just to do like a
Cool,
brief intro. Shout out your people and your
cool,
villages. Go ahead.
sweet. Malo lele. My name is Siose. Yeah, man. My father is from Tonga, Ha'apai Uiha in Ha'apai, and my mother is also Maori. Obviously from Aotearoa. She's from Tainui in Te Arawa. Yeah, born and raised, proud North Shore boy. Yeah, man. Man, I'm out here. I reside out in the east side. And yeah, that's me.
There we go, fam. Okay, the North Shore of Auckland City.
Mm.
What is the North Shore that you know? I mean, I feel like people who live in Auckland have this like perception of what the North Shore
Hi.
is, but for
Yep.
you, born and bred there, tell us what you know about it. What's your story there?
So I'm 21 plus 13. um, Back in my time in the early 2000s, the North Shore, especially where I'm from, Beach Haven at the time, um, we got state housing there too. For those that don't know, emergency housing. Um, and yeah, I grew up in Beach Haven, and at that time it was just a lot of our own people. Not doing too well. Don't have a lot. Um, at times it got pretty hearty, to say the least. But I think I was just proud to be there. I was raised by a single mother, and man, me growing up, that place is. I think that's why I rep so hard that side, because my childhood is embedded in those streets.
Mm,
I was always quite a good dude, so I wasn't really doing any of the other stuff. But I don't know. I just, I still go visit, and I still sort of see myself, the young me, out on in Beach Haven. So yeah, I think it's more like an attachment, like a
mm,
nostalgic, so to speak. Hey, um, yeah, a lot of my childhood was spent there, so
mm,
still a lot of me has a lot of attachment back home, and
mm.
yeah, that'll always forever be home for me. But yeah, we were stigmatized as that. Oh man, you must be from Devonport, or you
Right,
must
right.
be Long Bay, like those are Takapuna, like all the nice places. But that little cluster, like Beach Haven, Northcote,
Mm,
and parts of Glenfield, there's our own people in there, Indigenous. and Polynesian. So, yeah, for the longest time, being outside of the North Shore and having to repeat myself, like, what? Where's that? Or are
Mm.
you sure? Do you even have that in on the shore? You know, we were always labeled as rich guys, but that wasn't the case. You know, yeah.
Yeah. Mentioned mum's family, your cultural
Mm,
roots, mum being Maori. And I was wondering,
yep.
um, yeah, like being Maori and Tongan, like how
Mm,
were you, in terms of your community,
yeah.
did you have the best of both worlds? Were you able to get the best of both worlds, or was it more with mum's family? How did that,
Mm.
what was that like?
I think for me, like to be honest, like growing up and being on the shore, I was floating. I was a bit lost. I didn't really know my place in society because I was
Mm,
Tongan Maori, but on my passport it said I was a New Zealander, Kiwi. But I wasn't very much attached to my culture in those years on both sides. One thing that I do know is that my mum went away to uni to study to learn more about Maori culture. She gave it a crack. It was quite short, but it was more. My mother would always drop me off to my first cousins in Central Auckland, where they were on my father's side. They were quite heavily uh, in the Tongan culture, and
mm,
growing up, I would see it, but not really identify myself to it. Or neither sides, Maori or
mm,
Tongan, because I was still trying to figure out, well, where do I sit? But I think I was very blessed in the last couple of years to reconnect to my culture, especially more my Tongan culture. I just graduated my level 4 certificate in Tongan language, and that honestly now I don't feel like I'm floating anymore. I feel like I'm more grounded, and also the same. I'm a youth worker, so like I think also understanding where I come from, where I am, and I kind of had to dig deep too as well into my Maori culture.
mm,
But very fortunate, my brother and his partner are quite heavily in that space, and my bro is taking the leads on our Maori side. But I guess we're just at a point of in our lives being um, parents that we want more for our kids, so we need to be a bit more grounded in who we are and where we come from. So yeah, that's where
mm.
I'm at the moment. Yeah.
I love that you share that because I think, in this day and age where there are a lot of resources, there are
Mm,
many young folks out there just trying to reconnect, trying to learn
mm,
the language, trying to find, like you said, find their feet, find their place in the world. And it's cool, right? Because like rather than talking about it, you're just getting out and doing it. And like you said,
yeah.
being parents, being a father, that's an
Mm,
important part of that element, right? It's like
yeah.
it's important to make those connections. And I feel like, there many people have their own stories, but it's like in this day and age where there are a lot of resources and people you can reach out and connect to, like why
Yeah.
not, right? Utilize those spaces, utilize those courses. Congratulations,
Mm,
with the level 4. I mean, like you can proudly say that, like, I did this. And for your,
mm,
up for your family, young family, seeing you be able to do this, your son seeing you be able to do this, I mean, that right there is role modeling. And it's so
mm,
cool to hear that, because often we hear, oh, I don't know what to do, I don't know, but there's so
yeah.
much out there, right? Like,
Yep.
get out and do it. It's so cool,
Yeah.
man.
100%. I think that was a massive thing. I wasn't really around it or had the language
Mm,
in the house, so a massive part of that was being able to learn the basics. I still have a lot to learn, but
mm,
to be able to read it and know a few things, therefore I can pass that on to my son.
mm.
But yeah, that'll be a journey in itself. But yeah, still out here, still here, still
Slow
trying.
steps, one step at a time. That's
Hundred
what
percent.
that's what it's about, right? You
Mm,
just going back to how you mentioned, mum, going back to study, trying to get that knowledge, trying to get a bit more
mm,
educated. um for you as a youngster, seeing that, seeing mum role modeling that despite everything else going on in your community, in your household.
Yeah.
How did that impact your dreams and goals that were you dream as a young Siose? What were you dreaming about? What did you want to do?
I think for me, yeah, I didn't think that uni was a thing, to be honest, at the time. I was so young, but seeing my mother role model that and even give it a try, even at that time, I think I was just still caught up being well, at that time, maybe a 12, 13, 14 year old. So I think uni or any sort of education at the time was for me. Um, but definitely seeing my mother give it a try and seeing all the hard work she put in and uh, being someone like myself that went into to do study. Yeah, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy, but I got through. I graduated, and yeah, that's sort of my thoughts on that. Anyway.
Oh, good. And like I wanted to ask, I've got some words here, um, as we move along, and I just wanted to know if you could just perhaps describe
Cool.
what this means to you. So,
Cool.
Siose the father, how would you
Mm.
describe yourself as a father?
To be honest, it's been a long time coming. This version of myself that you see today, um, wasn't always here, and let's just say I had to do a lot of I made a lot of wrong choices along the way, but it built the person that I am today. And I guess it's a lot of I think it's just a lot of me just trying to forgive myself um, for a lot of choices that I made. But I am who I am today through those things. That's why they call it the life journey. You're supposed to go
Mm,
through a hell of a lot of things to understand things a lot clearer. And I feel I'm at my best version of myself right now, and it's only gonna get better. Yeah.
that's what's up. Okay, Siose the son, how would you describe yourself being a son?
Sucks. Um, man, I'm not trying to get upset, but I think right now I'm really proud. I don't come from much. If anything, I don't come from anything, and uh, shout out to my mum. My mum held it down for the longest time, being a single mother. We experienced a lot, but for me, that's why I live by that saying, "Still here," because right up from very young, I experienced a whole lot of things that not everyone would, but I think I had to go through those experiences to put me in my place where I am today, and that's serving others. So yeah, I'm proud.
Mm,
I'm proud where I am right now, and yeah, it's only going to get better from here. Yeah.
Siose the mentor and role model. I mean, you probably will shy away from this, but I think it's
Mm,
important for me to ask that and have you.
yeah,
How would you describe yourself?
man, that's a quite a difficult one, because, like you said, it's very foreign to talk about yourself
Mm,
in that way. But to be honest, I reckon what I brought to the table was just being authentic, and my experience of seeing what a rangatahi of today are still going through, because I see a lot of myself, a young me, not much stability, not much guidance or mentorship around. And with my life experience, I know I can share that to serve others. So
mm,
yeah, still a weird idea thinking that you're a mentor, but honestly, it just comes down to life experience. I have a lot of that, and that's how I've used that title, youth mentor or mentor.
mm.
It's just, yeah, giving back, using what I know and what I've experienced. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that, yeah, I mean, you're right. It is foreign. It's weird to kind of describe yourself in that way, but I
Mm,
think that it doesn't mean that we should shy away from it because naturally, with the community spaces that you're working in, it's what you do. You have young folks who are you're role modeling for them, and while you
100%.
don't hold up a sign and say, "Hi, everyone, I'm a mentor," like naturally, like you just do, right? it's your
Yeah, yeah.
service to the people that you love, to your family, to your community. So I think it's important to not shy away from asking that question, because why
Mm,
not? The work that you're doing with your collective, with your friends,
yeah.
in the community, it's impactful, and we need to be we need to acknowledge that and give flowers
Mm.
in that sense, as much as we don't want to go, oh yeah, okay, cool, yeah, I know I'm doing this important work and this mahi, but shh, do you know what I mean? Like, so it's so I feel you.
Yeah,
I hear where you're coming from,
yeah.
but
I'm
just
still
giving you
trying to
your
get used
flowers.
to it, you know? Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay, the wordsmith. I mean, I know
Mm,
we've talked a lot about the different layers to your identity, your upbringing,
mm,
but this is another layer of who you are, if anything, such
mm.
important mahi that you do in this space. Siose, the wordsmith, how would you describe yourself?
Man, it's been a long time coming, you know. I've been doing this since I was in school. My last year was back in 2006, so probably give you an understanding of how old I am, but it was always a passion for me. And life hits you after college, you know, it stayed a dream and then it didn't really look attainable. But I was lucky that I had people around throughout the years that kind of reminded me, like, man, what are you doing? Like, if you have a gift, why aren't you doing anything with it? Why are you not trying to pursue it? And I think I've just been lucky to be around the right kind of people to draw that back out of me. And yeah, I mean, in the more recent years, I'd say in the last 2 to 3 years, man, it's just been a hard grind, almost playing catch up. That's what's always been in my mind. It's like I had other commitments that required my time and my effort, my energy. As soon as those things came away, I just, man, I went 150, 200%
Mm,
into the craft and grinding. And man, I'm here. It's brought me this opportunity to be here today with you and many other things that have come from it. So, you know, it's a good thing to dream. It is attainable. You just gotta put in the work. Like, a lot of work, but
right.
yeah, you can get there.
Slowly
Anyone
but
can do it.
surely. Absolutely.
Slowly but surely.
Absolutely. For real. And then an extension of having this gift with words, which we're going to get into later.
Cool.
Being a writer and telling stories. uh, I mean, tell me something. But yeah, what is, yeah.
Yeah,
So you're say the writer and storyteller.
I think for me, Rosa, is that initially we were going through lockdown here in New Zealand at the time, and I sort of needed an outlet for myself. I was in a situation at the time that was quite it was quite heavy, but to maintain my own personal well-being, uh, I just wrote. I would just find a beat on YouTube and write. And to be honest, I was my own therapy through a lot of that. And the writing really helped me articulate my feelings, my emotions at that time that I was dealing with. And it just evolved. Things are a lot different from what it sounded like back then. But yeah, as a writer, I think it's so dope to be able to express yourself and it become like this art being put on a platform that everyone can see. And um, it's not even entertainment for me. I was my own therapist, and
Mm.
I felt confident enough in myself to share it because I was hoping that it could reach someone else that was dealing with the similar struggles. And yeah, it got me places, man. But
Mm.
yeah, that's my outlook on things, eh?
Yeah. I also wrote here entrepreneur, and maybe you don't think of yourself in that way, but I've seen just little projects and things that you've got going on. So, how
Yeah.
would you describe Siose the entrepreneur?
Oh man, Siose is still trying to get used to that whole concept because you know when it comes to entrepreneurship and business,
Yeah.
that's a whole different like
Yeah.
ball game, eh? Like it's so foreign to me, but I've been very, very fortunate to be around um other artists and business owners that are Polynesian, and they've been
Mm.
showing me the ropes. And it led to like the merch that I'm wearing right here. Just gonna flex a little bit.
Okay,
It's very
flex,
little,
bro. Do it.
a little something something, and I'm sure we'll go into detail, but Yeah,
Oi.
also the comic. So yeah, there was. It's. I think I just needed to look outside of the music because, from my understanding, there isn't a lot that you can make from the music side of things. So,
Mm.
um, I actually used to love to draw when I was younger, in my younger years, but obviously at the age that I am now, not too good at it, not too good at it. But um, I reached out to someone, shout out Mongus, um, and we just connected, and we were able to come up with all the merch as well as the comic. But yeah, still trying to figure it out there, Rosa.
Yeah, and we're going into that, fam. If you're watching, if you're tuning in on the audio, and if you're watching on YouTube, we're going more into this. Check the bio, check how you can connect with Siose, not just his music, but these other little projects that he's got going on. Bro's got to seriously tune in. Okay, so I want to talk about the New Zealand hip hop culture, well, New Zealand hip
Cool.
hop culture
Yeah.
in itself, and then the scene, and in terms of your experience
Yep.
on the come up. So, when did you
Cool.
actually first hear rap music or see
Oh,
elements of hip hop culture?
oh man, we would have to take it real early to my primary days.
Mm,
Just hearing it on the radio. Not so much in the household, but more the radio. Um,
mm.
but I think I was real inspired by like East Coast rappers
Oh, okay.
from the early '90s,
Mm,
where it be Nas, Black Thought, Common, all these guys in the early years. That's what it was for me. Just like amazed by how they structured their writing and how they delivered it. But I think took it more serious when Nisha Mystic hit the
mm,
scene. Them to me, man, just to see that there's someone that's like me or looks like me, doing what they do, wearing the cultural attire, like being super proud of their Polynesian heritage. Um, that for me was hella inspiring, and I would have only been an intermediate at the time, showing my age. Um, and just seeing them live, bro, I was just like, who are these guys? Like that Nesian style for me, that was it. Around the burning drum. These cats from Central Auckland, I'm this young dude from the shore, just seeing that, I was just like mind
mm.
blowing. I was like, what is this? This is a whole new sound. There's no one like them, but they're more so that they were just proud to be Polynesian. And I think that's how I carry myself in the music today. They have a massive inspiration to me, as Nisha Mystic.
Oi, just side note here, fun fact for everyone. When you get a karaoke, when you get a karaoke here in Japan, you can find Nijin Mystic on the karaoke. It's yeah, like for real.
Crazy.
It's like every time I gotta look up Nijin Mystic. Yeah, I mean I know the music, but I'm just like,
What?
okay, everyone dance to this for real, bro. Just a side note, just a side note. Okay, personally, what are your favorite elements of hip hop culture? I mean, obviously the rap side to it, but there are other elements. Like, were you like doing the b-boy thing back in the day, or again were you just like watching it in awe? Like, I don't
I
know.
think from the early years, even in intermediate, probably my last years of primary, I was already trying to give breakdance a go.
Oi.
Um, a bit of hip hop. I wasn't the nicest, but I think those were part of the elements of why I loved hip hop. It's a culture. I love the dress sense. Obviously the music, the DJs, the graffiti. Like
Mm.
I am a creative. I've been a creative for the longest, and yeah, those things really resonated with me. Yeah, so yeah.
Okay, I mean you've seen it all, now. Currently 2023, how would you describe
Mm.
the New Zealand hip hop scene? I mean, there have been
Oh
phases
man,
and many changes. I'm gonna let you take that one.
cool. Shot Reza. Honestly, bro, New Zealand music, we're thriving, man. Like, I think what's so good about it is that we're able to articulate ourselves and we're connecting with our people, our culture. It's not so much of a American influence.
Right,
Um,
right.
the likes of I'm just gonna throw a few names out there, but Rizvan, the from the outside
Rizzy.
crew, FOS, that Spew and the bro, we just did a
Yes.
project. His whole team, a lot of up and comers too. Like man, it's just such a wholesome scene, man. Like, and it's crazy. It's smaller than you think, and everyone connect quite well.
Mm.
Where they be out and about or at gigs or gigging with each other. But yeah, right now, like the scene is so healthy. Um, I'm proud to be able to see the growth and see the people coming through. Um, but yeah, there's others, you know, Diggy, Mellow, like
Mm.
you have you know, Ghost and Dusty with Dirty. There's man, there's so many. There's a long list, but it's thriving. It's doing really well, and but I'm super proud of New Zealand music. And honestly, we stand our own even to the rest of the world. Um, that's how much confidence I have in our community, our senior for Aotearoa hip hop. Yeah,
Mm. And rapping with I mean, well, I think what I really like now is just hearing rapping like in a I hate talking about accents, but I mean when we talk
mm,
about when we talk about rap music, you know,
yeah,
like gone are the days where you're trying to be like, you know, like rap like the American, you know, like
yeah, yeah, with
your
the
role
accent.
models. You know what I mean? But it's
Yeah,
so cool to be like, and I know it's not new, like it's, you know,
mm,
been gradual thing and it's cool,
yep,
right? Like we just, it's okay to be your Kiwi accent. Like no one, or, you know, rap the island way or whatever it is. It's, yeah,
yeah. It's
it's,
dope. It's like that's what makes us unique. Is you know the
mm,
Aussies have done that so well in the last
we,
couple of years. People are embracing that. New Zealand have been doing it for the longest. The likes of again Rizzy or
mm,
Tom Scott, um,
yes.
and even those before them. You know they've made it okay to just use the New Zealand accent to talk about
Mm,
our stories because it's unique to us as a country as us in this New Zealand hip hop culture, in the scene.
mm, yes. Okay. I know this is going to be difficult for you because but I have to ask New Zealand MCs, top 3 New Zealand
Oh
MCs.
man.
Don't come for him, fam. It's his own personal choice. Don't be out there hating in the comments. No, I'm just kidding. Bro, our top
Man.
3 New Zealand MCs. You gotta answer that,
Yep.
man. Come on now.
Yeah, nah, to be honest, it's a very, very easy one.
Okay.
And honestly, just a massive shout out to the top three. Um these are the guys that are like the goats in the game for me. My own personal opinion. But firstly, and it's not biased, but I have to go with Rizvan. Um, just man, just what he's been able to put out. It's so meaningful and it benefits a lot of people. I got to go Tom Scott.
Mm,
Again, just a dope MC, and he's been doing it, man, and being able to encapsulate or articulate himself in a way that us New Zealanders understand. Um, and then I've got to put Moreko in there, eh?
mm,
Man, that man has the dangerous punchlines. Um, just very witty in what he does. But honestly, not too far away. If not, if someone had to come out, I have to put Shay through. So I gave you four. I
mm.
gave you
It's all
four,
right.
but
It's all right. It's
yeah,
all right.
yeah,
Okay, I just want to shout out Rizvan. Like we've had him on the show before. I have mad
yeah,
respect, a lot of respect
yeah.
for
Shout out
Rizzy,
Rizzy.
his grind and mahi, and
Mm,
not just the work, not just with the music and the creative side, but definitely again with the brother here, Siose, just
mm,
what they are doing in the community, impacting
mm.
the lives of young folks, role modeling that, sharing their stories. I mean, fam, you know, I could go on. I'm a huge fan of Rizvan, so that's what's up. What's the difference from in your opinion? What is the difference between an MC and a rapper? I actually watched some
Okay.
videos and things, and this question came up, and I was like, I'm gonna ask Siose.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask
Yeah.
him thoughts.
Yeah. In some elements, they're both one and the same, but
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more looking at you can have real dope rappers or MCs that are really good at freestyling,
Mm,
but that might look a little bit different with someone trying to um, talk on a story. So there's two different. You can get someone that can sort of just be free with whatever they can or that they want to talk about in a freestyle, but when it comes to like a story, that's a whole different thing. You're trying to paint a picture of the theme that you might be talking about. It could be love, a lost one. When it's a freestyle, that can look a lot different. You're kind of you're talking about anything and everything. You're only sort of really putting words together. And then you got that real like styler, like real swag kind of rap. That's that you hear today that people wanna have a good time to. Those are sort of the categories that you can kind of put them into, but I think that's what kind of differentiates the difference between those different things when you are a rapper or MC. So they're sort of one and the same, to be honest. Yeah, MC is actually an old school term from way back, but a rapper sort of more forward. You could even say the earliest of the 90s. That was more present as a term of calling or the growth of an MC. But yeah, that's sort of my take.
Okay.
Take that with a grain of salt, though.
We're all good here. Okay, I wanna really hone in on your craft and the music that you're putting out there, the stories, which you've kind of alluded to already. But I need to ask, do you play any instruments?
No, you know what? I wish I tried to play. Very young, I tried to play the guitar, but bro, I was just so unco and like my fingers looked like I was pulling gang signs. So I don't know. I wasn't a natural, to be honest with it, but I'm happy my son's done piano, and
okay, sweet as
he's gonna take the wherever he takes it. But no, I didn't, unfortunately.
Okay, so do you remember when you first started writing rhymes, or maybe for you back then it was it was just really poetry or just thoughts and ideas that popped up in your mind? Do you remember when
for me, I believe I think it was back in 2003. It was probably my first year of college. I think we got given, I think it was quite open. We were able to share something about ourselves, and I remember being in class like with my raps back then, the bubblegum raps. Yes, that was me. Hey, you gotta start somewhere. But yeah, my fondest memories, or looking back then, it was in English. We got to share a bit about ourselves, and I did it, and man, I got a bit of reception from it. Some people like messed with it. They're like, man, that was dope. So I guess also getting that kind of attention at the time, it was like, you're young, you're full of ego. I'm pretty sure that was the first time. I'd say 2003, like either my first year or second year of college. Yeah, damn, it's a long time ago.
and do you have a lot of notebooks? I've asked this question. Some people are like, nah, I didn't do the note, but actually a lot. We're like, the rappers that have come on MC, been on the show, they're like, yeah, I had notebooks, piles of it. Was that you?
Yep. Back in that time, we were writing. I still have a few of them. They've just been put away. It's more just for me to look back and be like, man, bro, what was I thinking?
Bro,
looking back at the
man, I really had some issues, but we're okay. It's all good.
But yeah, I do have a few.
Okay, and then like in terms of now, like, are you still? I mean, because some people just they like to journal and write, but are you like now? You're like, now I'm on my notes app, like, or on your laptop. Like, what's it for you these days?
Yeah, I think just more out of convenience. I'm a pretty forgetful person because I know I'll be losing pens. Okay. So, and if not the book, but I think it's more out of convenience. For me that it's your phone's right there. Yeah, that's where I'm at with that anyway. Yeah.
Okay. I think when I first followed you on social media, you had a different. I mean, now it's Siose. No, I mean, sorry, fam. Let me explain. That's your name. It is your name, but I mean your like your stage name. What is it, a stage name? Okay. Let me just shut up. Do you know what I'm talking about? There was a name change, and I want to know what was your reason behind it. Is it more about the branding, or is it
Okay, no, that's all good, Rosa. I think for me, I used to go by the name MC Old Soul.
That's it. Sorry, that's it. I was like, what's the name? Yes.
That's all good. Yeah, I went by that name for a few years, um, but I wasn't too keen on the idea of coming out as Siose.
Okay.
I had someone close at the time. Well, actually, I'm just saying it was Riz. He was like,
Mm.
man, Doko, like, man, when I hear you in your tracks, man, I hear Siose. Like, I know you came in as MC Old Soul, but have you ever looked at um going by your real name? And I was like a bit conflicted at the time, only because that's my grandfather's name.
Ah.
So in a I mean, out of respect, plus I was a bit worried because people struggled with the enunciation of Siose at the
Mm.
time when I was on the shore. So um out of respect for my grandfather, I kind of had to put a bit of thought into it before letting it go. But then, who I am outside, outside of being an artist, I'm one and the same. So I'm like, I finally, after a few months, decided, I'm gonna come out as Siose, and to be honest, it's the best choice that I made, and it's pretty cool because it's kind of been a catalyst for others out there to kind of drop the stage name
Mm.
and go by their actual name. So I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, a bit conflicted at the time, but I'm glad that I made the choice, and yeah, I'm here as Siose now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Like, and I think it was a really great choice. Like, I totally support that because when, not say nothing against your old name. I was just saying when
Mm,
it changed, like
yeah.
it that made more sense. I mean, all I knew was
Mm,
you through your music and
yeah.
just
Yeah.
from what I see because I follow you on social media. When
Yeah.
you made the name change, I was like, yo, that makes total sense. And it's like you did it. Wait, that's why I forgot what your other name was. I was like, when I was
So
asking the
good.
question, I was like, gosh, Rosa, what was the other name? Oh, thank God you said it. I was like, what? I asked the question
What
and can't even remember the
what's
former
more
name, eh?
what's more important is that you know the name now. So that's all good.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what's up, fam. You heard it here, man. Siose, that's the name. How would you describe the music that you typically create? Or,
Mm.
yeah.
I think for myself, like I said earlier, it originally started as a form of expression, like therapy for myself to be able to articulate and let people know, how I was feeling at that point of time in my life. Um, yeah, I think it's thought provoking. Um, it's more so that I put it out there for people to uh connect or resonate with them because people don't actually know, man. We all have a lot of similarities or all going through similar experiences, and you know, having someone being able to articulate that, um, I hope that they can reach out to someone and connect with them to think, man, I thought I was the only one going through this,
Mm,
but the bros out here, are trying to normalize these feelings, and yeah, I think again it's just come from life experience. But I think this is just a phase in my life right now. Things could look a lot different in the next couple of years. You might not hear the deeper, meaningful Talanoa version of Siose. They could easily change. But for those reasons, um, I feel that that's been always been my perspective or my angle of my music is just hoping that it would reach others and serve them and support them.
mm,
Yeah.
mm. Yes. Okay. A wordsmith has a gift. They're a skillful writer. They're able to use
Mm,
vocabulary in an eloquent way. When did you know
mm,
that you had a gift with words? And how have you been able to get better at writing? Like
mm.
being a wordsmith. I mean,
Yeah,
like, do you got to know a lot of vocabulary, no doubt.
yeah,
So
yeah.
tell us a little bit about your journey there.
I think in the earlier years, to be honest, I wasn't as where I am right now. To be honest, I just put it down to work and working hard on the craft, just fine tuning it. Man, I think of the earlier years of a lot of the videos that I drop. You know, I look back, I listen back to some of that stuff, and I'm like, ooh. But again, like I said, you got to start somewhere. But I think just over time and being able to be around great influences, um, as you may touch on, like being in the nav space for Te Karanga Trust, seeing the youngins and how talented they are on structuring and putting their words together, like it makes you feel like, man, I'm gonna go home and like keep working. And you know, having inspirations like the likes of Riz around and Mallow, Diggy, and you know, all these real just gifted Polynesians that are so good at articulating their their work or their raps. It's just you can't help but want it more. You know, you see it around you. You see how well they do it, and you know, I feel like it's not even a competitive thing. It's more like you see them, it inspires you to want to do more. And to be honest, in the last couple of years, that's what it's been for me, and I'm still fine tuning it. But you know, I'm a lot far forward than I was, say, 3 years ago. So yeah, let's just put it down. It takes a lot of hard work, but vocabulary sort of just comes along. You know, you early stages, you just rhyming for the sake of rhyming. You got fillers to like sort of just take up, I guess, space or time in the music. But if you want to be able to deliver a story, you need to be quite onto it with being able to articulate yourself. But yeah, that's my take on that anyway.
Are you so having a way with words like that as a wordsmith? Can I just ask this side note? Like, are you like writing it is one thing, but are you a quick thinker in that you can, like, I'm thinking like battle rap, freestyle, you know, get into it with, like, is that you, or is it more about the creative processes for you is like the actual, it's the writing of it? You're not like, you know, because some rappers, some MCs are quick
Yeah.
with words, and yeah, I mean, they're spitting it out and they are battle rapping and doing that. Like, are you able to do that? Or yeah, I don't know, like freestyle just off the top of your head?
For me, man, I'll give freestyling a go. That is that isn't my sort of, how would you say it? That's not my strengths.
Yeah,
That's not
yeah.
my strength.
I thought I
It's
asked because it's
freestyling.
different for everyone, right?
Yeah, but I will give it a go. Like
Okay.
I'm not someone that shies away from it. Like
Yeah.
I'll still give it a go. But yeah, more the writing for me is I always take from how I'm feeling on the day. Like a lot of the demos that I drop, that's on the day. I'll smash that out real quick because I'm feeling some particular way. I probably
Right.
seen something. I draw off the energy on the day. So yeah, that process may look different to others, but energy for me is everything. Because if you can feel it, naturally the words are gonna speak for themselves. They're gonna
Right.
come out, and that's been my process. Yeah.
And do you write every day, or do you try and perhaps not creating something new every day, but just continuing to write and yeah.
Yep. So for me, I'm definitely doing that every second day. It's not an everyday thing. I reckon the earlier years, like late 2021, 2022, I was writing every day. I was up till like, you know, right from I had the time. I'll do it right from midday right till early hours of the morning, just because I wanted it that bad.
Right.
I wanted to make sure that when I come out, like I put in the work. I earned to be where I am. And yeah, nowadays I can kind of be more laxed about it, be more relaxed about it. So it's more like every second, maybe third day of the week, at least twice, 3 times a week I'm writing. Yeah, definitely.
And do you make your own beats? I know you've been dropping. Do you drop your demos like you said?
Yeah.
Do you make your own beats? Like,
That's something I wish I did. but a lot of it is just sort of seeing what's online and then
Right,
and
right.
using it. Um,
Okay.
and yeah, sort of going from there. But yeah,
Yeah.
my latest project that I'm sure that we go into, I was very fortunate to collaborate uh with the person, but I'd like to
Okay.
introduce him properly.
Tell us about the latest project,
Mm,
fam. If you're watching or listening, check it out. You will not regret it, man. Like seriously, this is
mm,
some good storytelling and good music out there. So check it out. But bro, just fill us in. Like, yeah,
cool.
latest project.
So our latest, I'm saying our because
Mm,
yeah, shout out to Spewer. Yeah, man, he's killing it at the moment with his whole from outside team.
mm,
Um, yeah, the dopest at the moment that's doing things. So shout out to you, Spew. Yeah, we came together. The whole concept or idea was just to, um, I guess, show my identity in the game and what I had
mm,
to bring to the table. That I was content and everything that was in that project that came from me. You know, the the tears I shed writing the music for that, and
mm,
um right down to the studio time sitting in with Spewer. You know, it was all organic,
mm,
good intentions. We went off feel. If it was something that we weren't something particular in that beat or something I was writing that I wasn't too happy with, I'll
mm,
change it. Just went all off feeling, eh? And yeah, it's just a self-entitled EP Siose. It's just um it's a reflection on who I am, identity to who Siose is, and I did my best to showcase that. And the
mm,
bro on production,
mm,
that's a strong team there, and I'm very proud of it, and I'm proud of the way that it came up. But yeah.
mm. Check it out, fam. I mean, if you go on Siose's page, like you'll see him constantly dropping demos and things, and just the lead up to different projects that he's dropping, entrepreneurial pursuits and whatnot. But definitely check out the music. You will not be disappointed. Like I think for me, like when I first started following you, like I didn't know your music at all.
Mm,
But man, there's definitely takeaways there, and like
mm,
you'll hear things, fam, that will resonate. And then just not even that, like listen to the storytelling,
mm,
listen to the power of words. Like you will not be disappointed. So, if anything, share it on your social media or just connect with us, yourselves, connect with the artists, connect with the producers. You will not be disappointed, fam.
mm,
Trust me. So, yes, check it out. Okay, so I want to talk about building community and youth
mm,
mentorship, as you mentioned earlier, or at least alluded to it. The work that you're doing with Navigators. Shout out
mm.
to. I mean, let me stop and let you take over here. Tell us about your involvement in the Navigators program.
Yeah,
Who are these awesome folks that you're working with?
cool. Yeah, man. Massive shout out to Te Karanga Trust. I've been working with them for close to 5 years now,
Mm,
and yeah, we pretty much we're a bit of a creative community. Originally, it started as a program, um, but the office at the time was based in up in Karanga Road. They were known as, are still known as KFM.
mm,
Shout out to Will. He's my manager. And the whole team at Te Karanga Trust. What we do is, yeah, it's based around creativity. So the program was for youth, mainly youth, to be able to come into a space that was safe, not judgmental, um, just a space for youth to know that it's okay for them to be themselves. That it originally started that way, and now it's kind of grown with even our team have grown. We also facilitate programs for alternative education that works around what youth would like to do. I mean, we've done graffiti, we've done taonga poro, like um, many sort of youth empowering or things that our youth can connect to and
mm,
and help them, um, know that they have options, that they're not just the normal school curriculum.
Mm,
It's, that's not for everyone. You're going to have
mm,
a whole lot of people that may look at creativity as their way. So for Te Karanga Trust, we've been able to give those options. But yeah, it's mainly for youth of creativity, but it's not just based off that. It's we
mm.
try to create a space where we can connect with them first. It's about connection, and then we build off that. Yeah.
Can you tell us, just for those who are watching or listening, how can they get in touch? In Auckland, for how can they connect with the program or with any of you? What should
Cool.
they do?
Sweet. So we've got handles on Instagram as well
Right.
as Facebook. So it's just Te Karanga Trust
Yeah.
.co.nz, or
Yeah.
just
Check
Te
the bio,
Karanga
fam.
Trust.
Yeah.
If you on any of those platforms, you can find it.
Mm,
And even myself, I'm sure at some point I'll share the handle. But if you have any questions, there's a whole lot of us that are working that I'm sure that you may be familiar with. But if not, just put in Te Karanga Trust on IG or
mm.
Facebook, and it'll come up. Yeah.
What are some important lessons that you've learned from, obviously mentorship? You're there, and you've
Mm,
kind of you've alluded to this earlier in the podcast.
mm,
You are role modeling, you're impacting the lives of the young, but when you see these young people and what they are sharing, what are
mm,
some important lessons, or an important lesson that you've taken away, not
yeah.
just as an artist and creative, but even as a father, watching
Mm,
these young folks?
yeah. To be honest, connection is everything. If you're not going to
Mm,
be able to connect with them and be at their level, it's going to be quite difficult to
mm,
go or do anything else. Um, just being able to, it might be just something as simple as playing ping pong or jumping
mm,
on a game and playing with them, just nurturing the relationship between yourself and the young one that you're with. Um, that for me, and just seeing that role model through a few of um, the dope work colleagues that I work with, just seeing them in action and being able to take that in, that's really been a massive thing for me. That's helped me with my career, so to speak, with the youth. It's just connection is everything, man. You're not going to get anywhere if you don't have that. Yeah.
mm. I want to, again, shout out to all the amazing folks that you are working with,
Mm,
at the trust, but also, with the Navigators program. Like, it's been, for me, as someone who's been following quite a few of you, but the work, not
mm,
just with the music, but the creative pursuits that you guys are doing, the projects with these young folks. The program has really evolved um,
yeah.
over a long period of time, or some might say in a short period of time, but it's so encouraging,
Mm,
because you know that people out there doing the mahi, and it's important, and you're impacting the lives. The program
mm,
is very intentional. You've
yep.
said, connection is everything, and it's like, for someone who follows all of that, it's really
Yeah.
cool to see what you guys are doing. Like, it not just growing, um I mean, it's growing it's allowing space for these young folks to
Mm,
dream, and
yeah.
to make their music happen, to
Yeah.
start somewhere, right? Like, get that
Yeah.
start that
100%.
perhaps, like you said yourself, you didn't even have that back in your day, and you
Mm,
get to, these young folks, I mean, you guys are planting the seeds, they're reaping these
yeah.
benefits, and it's so encouraging. Like, I
Yeah.
shout out to all of you, flowers to the folks that you're working with, and just, keep thriving, keep doing that, because it's so cool to see.
Shot
Yeah.
Rosa.
I want to go and take it over to Talanoa Tuesdays. We
Mm.
can't have this podcast and not talk about you and Rizvan. Shout out North
Mm.
City Rizzy. That's what's up. Co-facilitating over at Taro Patch
Mm.
Creative. I mean, fam, check the bio. All this information will be in there. Can you share the purpose of Talanoa Tuesdays? How did you and
Cool.
Rizvan get on board with that? And is it connected to the Navigators?
Cool. Also just wanted to shout out Benza. He's also a part of our
Oh,
team. Yeah.
shout
Much
out
love
to
to
Pizza
my
Man.
love Benza.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think originally it was actually going to be a little different. I
Mm,
can't really go too much into detail,
that's
but
okay.
I think it was more of an extension of the Talanoa that we would have in our programs, but
Mm,
it kind of got to a point because these groups were getting quite big that we couldn't really further our program, and it
mm,
took much time, so we had to kind of cap our time. Um, so it's more of an extension, and we've seen even grown fathers that I mean, much older,
mm,
come through, and we see how it benefits them to be able to um, come and just have an outlet to talk on the week that's been, or their struggles
mm,
that they're having, and myself and Rizzy and Benza would try to dissect that and see how we can support that person or our participants. So it's really just a extension, or just a longer time period of being able to just talk
mm,
about anything and everything that we put it out. We keep it open, and we just try our best to support the best way that we can through Talanoa. And yeah, that's
mm.
what we've been doing in that space. Shout out to the Taro Patch Creative too. That's been allowing us to be in that space, so homely as, but yeah,
Yeah.
so wholesome at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, when I came home in August, I think my brother had there was a meeting there for some Moana Pacifica
Oh,
creatives,
cool.
and I went along. Bro, that space is, oh
Yeah.
my gosh,
Yeah.
like that
It's like
community
nanas
space.
or aunties' house, eh?
Oi, for real, bro. Like honestly, it was so comfortable. Like I really felt like I had followed it online and just, but to actually be in that space and knowing that
Yeah.
you guys were doing these things, I mean,
Yeah. So good.
yeah, shout out to Taro Patch Creative, man. Like allowing, community, our people just to go in there and use the spaces. It's massive, bro. Hey, like it's
Facts.
massive.
It's such a dope space, man.
Yeah, and again, shout out to the bro Benza. We have hearty banter about the Warriors and the Broncos, but we're not going to talk about that right now. I'm still crying about that. And but yeah, shout out to the bro. And if you don't follow him, go follow him, because even his story about being a creative and the writing that he does, but just also
Mm,
the inspirational work that he does as a, Paralympian. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah. He's
folks,
a great human being, man. Like,
yes,
and he would
yes,
say that too. It's all about just being human for others, and that guy
yes.
leads by example, man. Shout out Benzo.
Absolutely, man. He doesn't miss about. So go check him out, follow him. I'll put these guys, I'll put their uh Instagram handles. Like you will not regret it, fam. Like inspirational. We've got to give people like that, give the brothers their flowers. I want to talk about
100.
curated by Siose. This
Yo.
is also going to be in the bio, and we kind of at the beginning talked about entrepreneurship. I asked Siose, describe Siose the entrepreneur,
Mm,
but
yeah.
tell us about your merch and these little projects, because
Mm,
it's huge, man. Tell us, take us
yep.
there. What?
Yeah. I think for me it was like I also need to look at some sort of creativity outside of
Mm,
the music. Because we do have our days as artists where you kind of want to have a bit of a break from the music, and like I said earlier, I used to be someone that loved to draw, um, but I still had, I was really good at I had a great imagination, so to speak, and I was lucky enough to connect. I had so many ideas on what I wanted to do with the merch. I wanted it
mm,
to be able to identify me, what I'm about, what I represent. Um, I wanted legacy. I wanted something
mm,
that reflects who I am and what I'm doing. So yeah, I was fortunate enough to connect with Maungas. Um, should be tagged in almost anything that you see on the page.
mm,
Uh, Created by Siose. Um, she's dope. She's young. She's Tongan Maori also. So
mm,
yeah, love to see her shine in what she does. But yeah, I pretty much came to her with all these ideas that represented more so the culture and what the culture's meant for me, especially in the last 3 years. I wanted to be able to do that and represent our small island of Tonga,
mm,
and represent my family, and the ta'ovala, which is a mat that you wear in Tongan culture. Um, when you have that as the eldest, you have an importance in the family when you're going to certain events, and that's what I drew from that. I felt like, man,
Mm,
I'm proud. This one I get to um, wear my culture, another I get to represent my family, and a few times with a lot of content that I've put out, I've always dressed in that attire to put on for Tonga, and
mm,
it's not out of ego. It's more out of being proud of my country, and more so I've got nieces and nephews. I got my son. I want them to look at their culture and be proud. Like, wow,
mm,
I didn't want them to be as disconnected as I was. So, I've put together a few things with the merch. This is one of them. I've got all versions of myself and my son
mm.
on a fala, which is like a Tongan or Samoan or Fijian mat. Um, I wanted to put those elements in there to represent. But yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. You can check the bio, check the IG handle, get connected. I know that you do limited drops, so fam, you got to get
Mm,
in quick. You got to
hard.
get in quick. Don't miss out. Look out for that. And I also want to then talk about Lost Legacy of Siose.
Mm,
We love books. We
yeah.
love reading. We're advocates for
Yo.
reading here on the Reads with Rosa podcast. So we couldn't do this
Yeah.
without highlighting issue number 1. This guy here, comic book right here. So tell us about Legacy of Siose and how this
Yo.
came about, because it's cool, bro. I'm expecting more issues from you. We need to highlight
Hard.
this. Oh, no
Yep.
pressure.
So no pressure. But yeah, I guess that's why I've pulled this out. I hope you guys can all see that. Um
Whoa.
the whole purpose of it is originally like I wanted to I wanted my son to have his issue, but I thought I needed to tell my own story. And
Mm,
the legacy of Siose is mainly based on sort of like the awakening of the version or who I am today. I wanted to
mm,
explain um the story of the legacy of Siose still here is more based around like hardship and getting to where I am today. And so there's like the good and the bad version of myself, and the bad version sort of comes back.
mm,
My past, so to speak, comes to haunt me, and is trying to take out the best version of myself today. So I wanted to articulate that through a story, and I thought, man, a comic. Like, I'm someone that enjoyed comics, didn't really read them, or just went through the pages. Um,
mm,
but I wanted something that captured the story. It's more about the message. Um, if anything, it's cool that I have some dope illustrations of the comic, but in my head it was about how can this support others?
mm,
How can I present this idea of the comic, this message? How can I make it powerful? And of course, when you see dope pictures and whatnot, you want to know what the plot is about, the story is
mm,
about. And I think what we were able to do and come together with, it showcases that, like, it's the message of overcoming your past, and that you're trying your best to move forward. And in the legacy of Siose still here, I reckon we captured it the best way that we could. And yeah, it's dope, man. Like, it's really inspired others to do other things too. Um, but yeah, that's where we've come. We've come a long way. But
mm.
yeah, again, my handles, when we share that, where you see it in the bio, that's where you can find it. But yeah, that's sort of a summary of Legacy of Siose.
Nice. And in terms of the illustrations, because even the
Mm,
cover is super dope. Like,
mm,
did you collab with the illustrations? Remind us again, like, yeah,
yeah,
who should people be hearing about? Like, not just with
yeah,
your curated by Siose, but
yeah.
you're working with some amazing folks. So,
Yeah.
it's a cool way.
I think for me, yeah, massive shout out to Among Us.
Mm,
She'll be tagged in everything that I do. That that has been illustrated, that it's all been by
Mm,
her. She's amazing talent. Originally from East Auckland, but is out south side now. But
mm,
again, yeah, she's Maori, Tongan, and yeah, just the way she works real fast. Um, she's just so dope, man. And I wanted to be able to use my platform to bring her up and what
yeah,
she does. And that's what we do. We empower,
yeah.
we showcase the talent that we have here. And she did it, she killed it. There's so many people and names out there that were just like, bro, like, honest to who, you got a comic
Mm,
and look how amazing this looks. So yeah,
right.
shout out to Mongas, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what it's about. You know, we do that, right? It's about uplifting. It's
Mm.
about bringing up these young artists, like super talented, giving them their flowers. Very important. I love that you're doing that, bro. Super important. You know, imposter syndrome. We talk about this all the time.
Mm.
Um, how do you handle that? Do you handle that well? Are you always questioning yourself and spaces that you're
Mm.
in, or are you now at a point in your life where you're like, you know what, whatever, we're doing this. I'm
Yeah.
I'm I'm here because I deserve to be in this space. I have
Yeah. Yeah.
achieved this. I've done that.
Mm. I think for me, I'm just at a point in my life of just being content. Like, I'm
Mm,
just only in control of myself and what I can do. Like, however that looks like with others, like,
mm,
that's out of my power. Like, I just focus on myself and what I'm doing.
mm,
Um, but yeah, I think it's just because I had been through a lot. There's a lot of things I needed to figure out for myself. And yeah, I'm just at a level of contentness that, man, I'm just like any other person out here. I'm just trying to live life and
mm,
and and trying to be the best version of myself. And um if it's something negative that doesn't serve me,
mm,
um then that's not going to help me, and that's going to come out negative with, where it be me being a father or a youth mentor, or in my music. I have to make sure that I'm good. So yeah.
mm. You're part of a duo. You're in a group,
Yeah,
ESUNA.
yeah, yeah.
So tell us. I totally missed this, but what
It's
is the
all good.
story behind that?
Cool. So yeah, shout out again to the Doko Yasi music. Um Man, he's a young cat. I'm definitely older than him.
Mm,
Yeah, he's a oh man, he's dope. Just being so young and making moves the way that he has, and he has such a massive heart. And I think for me, that's important to me, to
mm,
with a lot of artists, because before the art form, it's who are they as people,
mm.
you know what's their heart like. And I've been very fortunate to link up with Iyasi music. But Asuna just came across one day in the week. We were just like, man, would you be keen to collaborate?
Yeah, yeah,
um
yeah.
he's from the west side. He's from the west side of Auckland. He's from Avondale. Um and man, it made sense. We threw on a couple of beats. We came together. And Asuna was really a name that I came up with. It means to dispel spells that are like of uh, negative. Where
Mm,
I don't know, for those that are big on Final Fantasy, but I was really, really big on Final Fantasy growing up. Um, and that particular spell sort of eliminates or alleviates negative spells.
mm.
So that's where the meaning came from. It was almost like a remedy or healing, Asuna means. So
Okay.
for our own music, that's been a massive part of our healing. Um, and yeah, we thought that was the perfect name, and our music shows that too. But yeah, that's how we came up with Asuna, and me and Yassi linking up.
That's cool. You can also check the bio, connect with the brothers, like for real. I mean, seriously, man. I think originally through Rizvan, I was able to connect with a lot of just
Yeah.
these amazing, well, someone like yourself, Benza, just these amazing creatives, artists,
Mm.
music that's out there that I just didn't know before. So
Yep.
trust me, fam, you will not be disappointed. Connect, connect, connect. What's the best advice you've been given as an artist?
Oh man, there's been quite a bit of in my time.
Mm,
So I'd rather say maybe in more present time.
Yep.
Again, this person knows who he is, but back in the day, man, I was the ultimate procrastinator. Like I just was too much of a perfectionist to let things go.
Mm.
But I got to a point again of being content in myself to just keep shooting. You gotta keep shooting. You're gonna miss a whole lot, but when you
Mm.
shoot, or yeah, you just gotta be consistent. You gotta work. The more that you shoot, the more chances of something coming of that, or you getting it in. But yeah, a massive thing for me is just you just gotta keep shooting. You're gonna
Mm.
miss a lot, but you won't know. With all that practice, like Curry, like you think
Right.
of Curry, like people forget that he missed so many times before he became one of the best at shooting 3-pointers and whatnot. So
Mm.
you gotta allow that time to keep shooting, but also it's okay to miss, but just keep shooting until things hit.
Mm.
Yeah,
Is there a genre of music that moves your soul?
yeah. I gotta say neo soul or
Mm.
R&B. Like before the raps, man, slow jams was my go-to. Like you think of Boys to Men, like
You were that guy, huh?
Jodeci.
Serenading. You were that guy serenading
I
someone
wasn't
at the
that guy,
window,
man.
huh?
I didn't have the nicest voice like these guys. But for me, like it was more the feeling, man. I
Yeah.
had no business listening to what these guys were singing, but like for me, it was more the feeling I felt, and like
Mm.
it's nostalgic. It takes me back to a time, um, it takes me back to my younger years more so. But it's the feeling about it, neo soul, like just to throw it out there, like people like D'Angelo, Music Soul
Yeah.
Child, like yeah, that for me was I still love that music to this day. So yeah, for me to move the soul and whatnot, like yeah, definitely neo soul and R&B.
Okay, that's what's up. I have to ask this. I had Big Sema on here, and we talked about this top 5 MCs
Yo.
of all time, and he was like, "Don't anyone judge me." So I'm gonna push it out your ways and ask you top 5 MCs
Top five
of all
all
time. No
time.
judgments,
Okay,
fam. No
all
judgments.
good. I'll definitely have to put up Nas. Nas was definitely a big influence. And a majority of them will be from America.
Mm,
Another Black Thought from the mighty The Roots.
mm,
I'll have to say Pete Rock and CL Smooth, the bro CL Smooth. I just loved what he was doing, how his cadence, the way he rapped. Um, Guru from Gangstar, and I have to put Riz up there, man. Like,
okay.
yeah, that'll be. I'm pretty sure I gave you 5, but yeah, it'll
Yes.
be it'll be Nas, Black Thought, Guru, and Rizzy. What was that just for?
No,
I
that's
think that
fine.
was just 4.
You said Pete Rock as well. Did you miss that
Oh
one?
yeah, CL
Pete Rock.
Smooth. Sorry. Yeah.
Yes, yes, mate. Okay, okay. All good. There we have it. That's the top
Ooh.
5. Don't come for him, fam. Okay. Self-care. How do you take care of your you're doing all this work in these community spaces,
Mm,
work, you've got your family to look after. How do you take care of your mental health and well-being?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's just being able to find time for yourself. Where it be, I understand everyone's situation is different. Like where it be fam, being a father or being in a relationship, but just finding some time in the day to, even if it's just an hour to um, have a break. For me, I love being by the water.
Mm,
Something about water just it makes me feel still. Um, Obviously, music just man, even a sleeping to be honest is like
mm,
that works wonders for you, man. Just yeah, those are the few things that I manage, and yeah, making time also for myself to socialize. I have a very small circle that I'm able to go and talk about, some deep things, or that encourage me or support me. I have a really great circle of friends for that. So, um, yeah, for me that's how I deal with it. Yeah,
okay, cool. And you have a book recommendation for us?
yeah. So, It's by Jimmy Hunt. This particular book, A Bit Mental by Jimmy Hunt, like I feel like it was a modern day spin on what was relevant of today, rather it be just a
Mm,
self help book that was based off all these uh maybe they did some sort of census or some sort of statistic or some real deep analysis on human behavior. It
mm,
really put things into perspective and also into New Zealand, like being from Aotearoa, like the culture of what he spoke about. He was dealing with a lot, but he also put gems on how he dealt with his mental well-being. And
mm,
I just think it was such a powerful book, um, and it more resonated because it was from Aotearoa.
mm,
So yeah, very relevant. A lot of things in that book for me that stood out that made me think, man, I thought I was the only person dealing with this, but he was
mm.
able to put that together in a book, and yeah, that's my recommendation. Eh? Yeah, shout
Okay,
out
so
Jimmy Hunt.
check it out, fam. Great book recommendation for us this week. What can we expect from Curated by Siose? What can we expect from Loss? Is there another issue coming up? We're
Mm,
nearing the end of the year. What can we
yep.
expect, or is it something in the new year coming?
Cool. So yeah, definitely got a few things lining up at the moment. I'm
Mm.
about to go into issue 2
Oh,
of Loss, and again, it's just gonna be about the message,
mm,
sort of the come up or so to speak of how the stories sort of come together.
mm, mm,
And the
mm.
merch, man, I've already got enough stuff to last for a long time. So
Okay.
you're gonna see a lot more of that, a lot more cool ideas that identify back to culture,
Mm,
legacy, family, um, and that's just reflective of what is very close to me in my heart, and
mm,
keeps me driven on what I do. Are those main points, but definitely a lot coming. Yeah, issue 2 on its way. Um, yeah, you keen, Lincoln, and yeah, I'll suss you up, man. I got you. Yeah.
and you can always check my stories. Like I just continue to share. I mean, I
Mm.
just want to say, like, because this is episode 118 that we're
Wow.
dropping here with Siose. And when I say that, I didn't say it lightly. The people that have
Mm,
come through the show, like, it's not just it's a one-off thing. Like I truly do like to share in their victories, and as much as I can whenever I'm online,
mm,
trying just to share like yourself, just share the mahi, the work. Um, that you are all doing, like I
mm,
just don't forget, once you're part of the Reads with Rosa family, our podcast family,
mm.
that's it. We're for life, fam. Okay, that was
Yo,
dramatic. But what I
and
mean is,
yeah, I know you've been doing that, Rosa, and to everyone that has been tuning in, she's really provided a platform for um creatives to be able to share. And yeah, thank you so much for even having me on here, Rosa. Like, man, and you have been supporting from day dot, and I'm sure you're doing the same for everyone else. So yeah, much love to
yeah,
you.
man,
Yeah,
like
thank
mad
you.
flowers to everyone. For real, it's all good, bro, because it's I love doing it because I do appreciate the time that people have given
Mm,
me just to even come on the platform and just to
yeah.
be able to say, yo, bro, you're episode 118 and everyone that's come
Mm,
before that. I just love to see the little victories. But when we
mm,
say victories, it doesn't come without challenges. I'm seeing, I see people, I see the struggle
yeah.
and what everyone's trying to do. And this is just like my advocacy work that I'm trying to do is just to, continue to uplift and just
Mm,
give flowers to our artists, to our creatives, to our educators, just to the everyday person that is out there doing their work. And
mm,
in saying this, I also just, we're coming to the end of the show, but
cool.
I must just acknowledge the work again that you're doing out there
Appreciate you.
with your
Thank you.
circle and collective, bro.
Yeah.
Keep thriving, keep doing what you're doing, keep writing, keep
Mm,
putting your music out there, keep putting those designs and
yeah.
it's like there is no limit to the
Mm,
potential that our
100%.
Pacifica folks have that you have, bro. So I want to thank you so much for just being open to coming on the show. I know we've been trying to do this for quite a
It's all
while
good.
now, and finally to be able to link up and just put you on blast, bro. Man, a lot
Thank you
fizz,
so much.
bro. You know, I'm a
Thank.
fan. I am a fan, truly, first and foremost. So, man,
Mm,
respect, a lot of respect for what you do. Just keep going. You know,
mm,
like you've alluded to right throughout, there's been ups and
yeah,
downs. But what's most important, bro, like you mentioned, is currently this is where you are. This is the
yeah,
space that you
yep.
are at now. So thank you again. I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
hand it over to you, bro. I will
Cool,
continue to follow your journey. Much alofas
cool.
to you and your family.
Yeah.
Hand it over to you. Drop final gems. Wrap
Final
up the
gem.
show, bro.
Thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to shout out Rosa one time. Just like like I had explained earlier, you have been a part of this journey for the longest, and you have been supporting. And I just want to thank you for being able to give your time and your energy. There's a time difference from here in Auckland, Aotearoa, and Japan. Um, yeah, love what you're doing. You're providing a platform for creatives and Polynesians, Indigenous, and yeah, everyone just keep pushing at what you're doing. It's gonna take some time, but you just gotta keep at it, man. But yeah, much love from Siose, and yeah, peace and love to everyone, eh? Yeah, malo.